I would definitely have to say, and I think it's safe to say, that one of the most mysterious characters in the Star Wars franchise has got to be Supreme Leader Snoke. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, when it comes to J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, we do know that they are trying to do their very best at satisfying a lot of fans around the world by delivering some twists and turns that really do have meaning, and that Episode 9 would have a lot of substance to it when it comes to some of our main characters, and how this film is going to connect to past Star Wars movies, from the prequels and the originals, so that's one thing to look forward to for sure. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which specifically has all to do with Supreme Leader Snoke, that points to a connection between himself and Emperor Palpatine. Specifically, a description of Supreme Leader Snoke inside of a throne room, however different from the one presented in The Last Jedi. Snoke is sitting on his throne with 5 attendants surrounding him. Around his throne are all the statues of the Dwarti that once belonged to Emperor Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith. These statues also belong to Plagueis in Legends material. The next goes over Snoke walking around the throne room and examining the statues of the Dwarti. He begins to examine his ring, also that has glyphs from the Dwarti etched into the ring itself. All 4 sages of the Dwarti are in front of Snoke, and appears that he is reading the text. Now, in case you guys have no idea what the Dwarti or who the Dwarti really are in the Star Wars franchise, and this is all canon, by the way, the 4 sages of the Dwarti, according to Wikipedia, Brata, Thea, Sistros, and Yanjan, were a group of contentious philosophers and lawgivers from the early days of the Galactic Republic, who had great influence on its early constitution. Supreme Chancellor Sheev Palpatine kept bronzium statues of the 4 sages in his office and chambers on the planet Coruscant. Now, what's really interesting about all of this is that this is a deep connection between both Snoke and Emperor Palpatine. How did Snoke get a hand, or get his hands, on Palpatine's 4 sages of the Dwarti? Now, like I say, in Legends material, they once also belonged to Plagueis. We're not quite sure if they did in the current Disney canon, but they did belong to Palpatine, as you can see them in Revenge of the Sith, and we have heard that J.J. Abrams is going to be tying Star Wars Episode 9 to prequel trilogy continuity, and this is just one great example of continuity, is of course the 4 sages of the Dwarti that once belonged to Emperor Palpatine that are now in the hands of Supreme Leader Snoke. Ironically, Snoke's ring is also from the Dwarti. It has glyphs written into the actual ring material itself. So there's a lot going on between, of course, Episode 9 and prequel trilogy content that's really going to mean something differently. And with all of the different rumors right now that Matt Smith is portraying a younger version of Emperor Palpatine that hopefully comes into play here for this movie, the possibilities are really endless when it comes to this link between Plagueis, Snoke, and Palpatine. I think that's the more interesting aspect of Star Wars right now, because of how mysterious all 3 of those characters really are when it comes to their past lives in the Disney canon. Now sure, Palpatine is more explored, but there's still some degree of mystery there that they could absolutely take advantage of in Episode 9. Now, with that being said, we do know that Snoke is quote-unquote dead apparently, and may have some kind of involvement in Episode 9. This is either in the form of a flashback, most likely, or Snoke is back to life with his attendants by his side. Now, I don't know if you guys saw Snoke's attendants in The Last Jedi. They are the creepy figures lurking in the background with the glowing eyes and the purple cloaks, who, well, they eventually just vanish and disappear, and pretty much no explanation as to where they went. Now, those creatures actually helped the remnants of the Empire guide their way throughout the unknown regions into becoming the First Order. So these creatures had a great hand in developing the First Order and keeping them alive, and they also served Snoke greatly. So, did Snoke ever go to Coruscant? Is this how he actually got hold of the 4 sages of the Dwarti from Palpatine's office? That's a huge question for sure, right? A lot of people are wondering more and more about the connection between these 2 iconic villains in the Star Wars franchise. And I will say, I will admit, Snoke is a character that really grew on me in the sequel trilogy, and I was kind of let down when I saw that he was killed off in The Last Jedi so quickly, because that was the first time we actually got to see him in the flesh, in physical form. So, with that being said, guys, I will say that when it comes to JJ and Chris, it really seems like they're trying their very best to tie it all together in order to really make it resonate with fans. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.